Yeah, man. It's a wrap. It's a wrap for Babylon. First and foremost, as always, before I begin this exhortation, I'd like to give all praise, glory, and honor to the true, holy, and powerful names of the Heavenly Father and His beloved Son, the Most High Power of Israel, whom the world ignorantly calls God and Jesus Christ. Real names in the Paleo Hebrew is Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Racha HaKodash. All right, double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone that do rule and teach well with the correct doctrines and exhortations of the heavenly scriptures. Peace and salutations to you hopeful elect Akim brothers that's out there doing this work in all truth, faith, and sincerity and fear of Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. And as well, you few sincere Akwaf, our sisters that come across these videos. Shalom. All right, yeah, as you've seen from this opening clip concerning the BRICS nations that has, that's expanding. All right, they just included two of the top, or one of the top oil-bearing countries, right, in the world, which is Saudi Arabia. Right, then you got the United Arab Emirates, okay, which all of those United Arab countries, they got oil, all right, but primarily, Saudi Arabia. And so yeah, man, this spells doom for the U.S. petrodollar hegemony, all right, because that's how the dollar has its supremacy, over the nations, is because of the petrodollar system. If you want to get oil from anywhere, all right, from any oil-bearing country, you would have to have U.S. dollars in order to get that, all right. And oil is very essential, all right, for the uplifting of a modern society, all right. Everything runs on oil. The farming equipment, the trucks that bring the cargo in, the cargo ships, all right, the planes, everything, man. The trains, they all run on oil. So oil is very essential, and this gave America, man, a great boost in terms of its power, all right, because it allows for them to sanction other countries, to put their foot on their necks, so to speak, grab them by the balls. That's pretty much how these other nations have been, treated from the West, man. And this part of that wine that they forced down the nation's throats, all right, that the nations are now sobering up from, all right, because when you take upon that wine, which is their philosophies, their way of life, you need to follow after our blueprint. We're the model nation, the top leading nation. So, take after our example. So they'll force their ways upon other countries, set up puppet leaders, the whole nine, man. This the dollar was something that they had faith in, that they swallowed down. They had had faith in the dollar, and that's what gives the dollar its power, is people's faith in it. Once people start to lose faith, which came through, all the different deficit spending that America has been doing, printing money out of thin air, causing the inflation of the dollar, decreasing its value, then people start to lose faith in it. That's why you have the BRICS nations that was formed, all right, to combat the way of the West, all right, and create another system, that benefits them, that benefits all, really. But ultimately, man, all this shit gonna come to naught, man. Pursuing the Psalms, the 2nd chapter, why do the heathen rage and the people imagine a vain thing? Okay, all of this is vanity, because the Lord finna squash all this shit, man. He finna subdue all the nations and stand alone as a King of Kings and Lord of Lords. That's why the scripture said in Revelation, he had on his head many crowns. Okay, so all in all this shit is a futile effort, man. All these different economies, they're going to do away with their currencies and transfer over to a digital currency, man. All right, that's the hour of temptation that's gonna come to try the whole earth. The whole world and them that dwell upon the earth. Revelation 3rd chapter 11 verse. Okay, so all nations are playing a role in what the elites, the wicked elite, ultimately want. All right, which is to total control. So, but anyway, nonetheless, man, this is going to cause chaos over here in the West, man. All right, and I got a precept. First precept that came to my mind upon listening to that was this right here. Ezekiel, no, not Ezekiel. We're going to get that too, but Isaiah 57. Oh, no, 51. Isaiah 51. Is it 51? Or is it 50? Salakia. I think it's, let me see something. All right, Salakia, it was Jeremiah 51, all right? And as you see the subheading, it says, Babylon judged for its sins against Israel. You so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans, the apple of the Lord's eye, all right? What it say? I think it's Revelation, the 13th chapter, where it says, Babylon is full of the blood of the martyrs of Yahushua, the blood of the saints, you know? So hey, this place is filled with our blood, man. You know? That's how this place was brought up. But what does it say in Habakkuk, the 2nd chapter, 12th verse? Woe to them, woe meaning destruction, to them that buildeth a town with blood and establisheth a city by iniquity. Okay? And we're coming into that woe, that destruction is drawing nigh, man. Okay? Because of how this place was brought up. Chiefly from, you know, fucking over the Lord's people, man. You know? Raping the Lord's woman, so to speak. So you got to pay dearly for that. So jumping down to verse 6, it says, flee out of the midst of Babylon and deliver every man his soul. Be not cut off in her iniquity. All right? And it's talking about flee. I see 144 on these license plates. Hey, call Yahbashim El Shai. But yeah, it's talking about flee out of this place, spiritually speaking, man. Pursuing the Micah, the 2nd chapter, 10th verse. Come out, what it say? This is not the place of thy rest. Come out of her, my people. Roughly paraphrasing. Come out of my people, for this is not your rest. It is polluted. It shall destroy you even with a sword of destruction. All right. So we supposed to come out of this place, spiritually speaking, sober up from that wine. All right, because we was forced to drink the wine too. All right, we bought into the system at one point in time too. All right, but the Lord have opened up our eyes through the Spirit. All right, and gave us discernment enough to know, hey man, this ain't where it's at, man. This ain't our rest. All right, we can't relax here. Okay, and excuse background noise, man. I'm on the road, so excuse me. And now it's raining too, so Baba Kashai, hopefully you're still able to hear me. But yeah, so continuing on, it says, let me read this again. Jeremiah 51:6. Flee ye out of the midst of Babylon and deliver every man his soul. Be not cut off in her iniquity, because you're going to have 2/3 of our people that's going to get cut off in her iniquity. All right? It says, when hand joined in hand, the wicked, though hand joined in hand, the wicked shall not be unpunished. So if you join in hand with this devil, you're going to receive that same judgment as this devil. Okay? Which is something that we, the hopeful elect, don't want. All right? But, so it says, for it is the time of the Lord's vengeance. He will render unto her a recompense. A recompense is a payback. And that's the times we're living in, man. All right, the Lord is putting it on the spirits of these kings of these other nations. Chiefly, what the BRICS is acronym for Brazil, Russia, Iran, China, and South Africa. All right. So, yeah, the Lord put it on his spirit. Matter of fact, let's see something real quick. Think of a precept. Here we go. The king's heart. Proverbs 21:1. It says, the king's heart is in the hand of the Lord Yahweh. As rivers of water, he turneth it whithersoever he will. Okay? So the hearts of these different kings are their minds, because their heart in the Hebrew is la, meaning mind. All right? It's controlled by the Heavenly Father, man. He ruleth in the kingdom of men, pursuing to Daniel, the 4th chapter, 17th verse. All right? So these kings, man, they're not doing anything outside of the will of the Lord, ultimately, man. All right? And it's his will that they come together as a coalition against the Western hegemony to render unto her a recompense. You see, even her allies over there in Europe is going to turn on this whore, as pursuing the Revelation, the 17th chapter. All right, because shit, they've been fucking them over too. They destroyed the pipeline that connected natural gas from Russia to Europe. All right, they set to freeze this winter. It was supposed to be last winter, but they say this winter is where that pipeline no longer being there is really going to come into effect, and Lord willing, it does. All right, but so America, man, has fucked over their allies, man, all for greed and gain. All right, to be the primary source of natural gas, and they sell their gas at a higher price to Europe than they was getting from Russia. You see, so yeah, man, so America is just set for judgment. It says, verse 2, every man's way is right in his own eyes, but the Lord pondereth the heart. That's the point. So now I got an article before we go back to that Jeremiah. Let me get this article real quick. Now this is from TonyRobbins.com. All right, and I just typed in Google, how was the petrodollar formed and things of that nature. So here's the history of the petrodollar system. It says the term, the gold standard, didn't come out of thin air. The global economy used to run on a system in which each country's currency was linked to a value of gold, right? And that system forced the nations to be honest, all right, with their transactions, to not go beyond their means, to not print money to infinity, all right? But America, being the devils that they are over here, didn't want to abide by that standard, all right? They wanted to be able to print money to infinity, and look what that has caused, man. Inflation, that thick clay, the lady herself with thick clay, which is the debt. What's that, Hebrews, the 2nd chapter, I think the 15th verse, or somewhere. May have to grab that, but so now America's in great debt. Everybody's in debt, all right, because of this standard. They took off the gold standard. It says there was a fixed price for gold at which each country bought and sold that commodity. The gold standard was abandoned in 1971 when the Nixon administration here in the U.S. ended the practice, and the value of the U.S. dollar went on a free fall as inflation soared. All right, so that's the result of it, man. And that's the thing about Esau, man. He don't think about the long-term implications of his actions. You see, he's not a prudent man. A prudent man foreseeth the evil and hideth himself. But the wicked simple pass on and are punished. Like, prudent means to have foresight. You're supposed to be able to foresee, like, okay, well, if we do this might cause this and that might cause that, and we don't want that for our nation or our people, so let's not do that. But they're like, nah, we want as much money as possible. We want to have it now. That's the problem with Esau, man. That's the reason why he gave up his birthright, because he couldn't go on a fucking fast, man. You see? But now we're coming to the judgment behind that. You see? It says, the highlighted portion in pink here, it says, in 1973, the petrodollar system was created through a deal between the U.S. and Saudi Arabia. The countries agreed to price the trade oil in U.S. dollars, and in turn, America will provide military protection whenever need be for Saudi Arabia. Because America's blessing ultimately is a sword. That dollar was just a Ponzi scheme developed by the West, to and ultimately by the elites, because the elites is who really benefiting from this cash cow of America. All right, this whore that the elites is pimping out. So yeah, and it's gonna ultimately come down to America's military might in order to keep that, keep its hegemony. All right, they don't give a damn about the dollar collapse, because that's what they want. That's going to fuel the chaos that's necessary that they need for over here in the West. You know, shit gonna get crazy, man. All right, but it's perfect for them because they can bring in that order of that MOTB, and which you ain't be able to buy or sell unless you have it embedded in your skin, man. But anyway, continuing on, it says the countries agreed to price and trade oil in dollars, with oil standardized in terms of oil from Saudi Arabia would have the dollars with US dollars. This led many oil-producing countries to also standardize oil prices in US dollars, and the petrodollar system was born. All right, so every oil-bearing country has to, price it in, well, had to. All right, you're coming into a time where that's not going to be the case, man. Continuing on, it says the answer to what is the petrodollar may continue to change as global economy landscapes shifts. Venezuela began selling its oil in other currencies, and the Saudi government is threatening to abandon petrodollars. Okay, now it's no longer a threat; it's becoming a promise. Okay, they say by January 1st. Okay, and Lord willing, it goes according to plan, right on January 1st and downhill from there. All right, you got a lot of shit that's happening even before that. You got the fucking Demic, the CV-19 Demic making a comeback. A lot of people who ain't gonna want to go with that. You got Trump telling people not to go along with the new mandates and no, we won't go. Slogan, whatever he was saying. But and you got the SNAP benefits is being cut for a lot of people, so a lot of people ain't gonna be getting no food stamps. Shit gonna get bad, man. People gonna get desperate. All right, and that's what the scriptures say. All right, pursuing the second Ezra, you can read that how it's gonna be sedition among men. Sedition is the uprising against the government. Anyway, we ain't got to get it, but so yeah, that's the point of this article that I wanted to bring out. Going back here to Jeremiah 51 and 7, it says, Babylon have been a golden cup in the Lord's hand. The Lord put put Babylon on the level, man. Put America on the level. That goes all the way back to the blessing that Isaac gave Esau, that he was going to have to do with heaven and the fatness of the earth. And by his sword shall he live. All right. And, the dollar plays a role in that sword. But they use their sword, their military might to enforce the dollar. That dollar, man, is like witchcraft, sorcery. All right. That they use to put on the nations and get them to believe in it. All right. In order to take advantage of them, man. That wine. All right. To influence them. When you got somebody drunk off some wine, man, you can, you might get the draws that night, But in other cases, you might not have gotten it. You know what I'm saying? Just to throw that analogy out there, but that's essentially what America has done throughout the earth. Anyway, so yeah, the Lord put his devil on a level that says that made the earth drunken, and the nations have drunken of her wine. Therefore, the nations are mad. Right? They're like, man, hey, look. We've been going along with this fucking scheme. We know this dollar ain't shit. We know it ain't backed by nothing. We know the deal that they made with the oil-bearing countries. We tired of this shit. They sobering up. The Lord is putting it on their spirits to be that way, man. We just read it. All right, the king's heart is in the hands of the Lord. So now it's time for judgment. Verse 8, it says, Babylon is suddenly fallen and destroyed. How for her take balm for her pain. Balm is a is a ointment, for a wound. All right, but America, it ain't just a simple wound that it has, man. It has a ton of bullet holes in it. All right, and it's clinging on for dear life, and it needs emergency procedures done on it in order to keep it alive. Okay. And they're not getting what they need. It's like America's on a hospital bed with bullets all in them, and they trying to keep it revived and get out the bullets and stop the blood from flowing, and but this bitch gonna die. It says here we go, verse 9. We would have healed Babylon but she is not healed. Forsake her and let us go every one into his own country. That's what a lot of these heathens are doing. At one point, they thought of this as a land of opportunity, the American dream, you know. But that American dream has become a nightmare, all right? And it's going to, if you were wise, you'll get the fuck up out of this place, man. For those that's not moving according to faith. Because we know, man, hey, look, fuck it, you know. We know this shit gonna get bad, man. But we know what the scriptures say. The scriptures say the righteous shall scarcely be saved, man. All right, we know we're going to be in Jacob's trouble. Jeremiah the 30th chapter, 7th verse. All right, there's a time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it. We ain't going nowhere because we believe through faith that we shall be saved out of this time of Jacob's trouble, man. All right. You see, so, and it's called Jacob's trouble for a reason, because it's going to affect the seed of Jacob, so-called Black Latinos and Native Americans, first and the worst. All right, because shit, when the economy collapse, hey, the ones that ain't got it like that is gonna be the first ones to have to deal with the brunt of it, you know. And ultimately, the Lord is bringing judgment upon the world and primarily upon His people. But continuing on here, verse 9 again, it says, "We would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. Let us forsake her and let us go everyone into his own country. For her judgment reacheth unto heaven, and is lifted up even to the skies." All right, and that's what it is right now, man. And so hey, the bill is due. You know that tab, you ran up your tab, Esau. All right, now you gotta, you know, you can't run out on the bill. You just sat there and ate that full course meal and had dessert, and now you plan on running out on the bill. But shit, you got the nations at the door blocking your ass. You know, that analogy. But so yeah, man, this is the time we into, man. Hey, the Lord's vengeance. Matter of fact, is it? Well, I think we already read that. But yeah. And the scriptures say that the Lord will not at all acquit the wicked. Acquit meaning to let off the hook, let go free. You know, America. Hey, it's time of the Lord's vengeance, and we're here for the recompense, baby, the payback. So yeah, that's pretty much the point of the lesson. There is many other precepts that I can get into, but Lord willing, I can do a land back part 2 going into that. So hopefully this was edifying, though. To you for the leg I can walk off out there. Till the next time I say shalom.